The big shiny frigate is the most popular kit in the Indian Ocean at the moment. Being the first large ship available, everyone is grinding their way to getting that floating fortress to maximum level. And this maximum damage per second schooner build sends those new shiny frigates down to the bottom of the ocean in about 10 seconds. And anything smaller than the frigate rarely survives one broadside attack. Having constant access to this raw power is a lot of fun. It works great at melting high level bosses and structures in PvE as well. Alright, let's jump straight into the build so you can unleash all this power too. We're using the fully upgraded schooner ship for its fury and volatile perks to be active, and these basically just boost our explosive damage and broadside damage. Now for the weapons to take advantage of this. For the port and starboard sides, we are using the Dardanelles, with the ascensions being combustion and 2 times amplified explosive. This allows broadside Dardanelles to do about 8,000 damage, and we have 4 Dardanelles per side, giving us some insane broadside damage output. For the front and rear, I recommend the Naga's Call, which thankfully is now obtainable from this week's new event. On Naga's Call, the ascensions I recommend are anything to boost explosives. I have Dire Explosive, Amplified Explosive, and Blast Range. For the perfect roll, I would have preferred Combustion and 2 times Amplified Explosive, but I didn't get lucky. In the auxiliary weapon slot, I'm really enjoying the new Storm Vigil rockets. Each individual rocket doesn't do higher damage, but they are fired in volleys of 60, so if most hit their target, they do great damage. And in PvP, these are great to use because it destroys the enemy brace strength, so your Dardanelles can hit really hard on the next broadside attack. For the Ascensions, I use Combustion, which complements the and I would have preferred Amplified Explosive on the other 2 slots, but again, I didn't get lucky and ran out of Ascension rolls and bricked this one, so I had to start again. And now for the furniture pieces. In the major furniture slot, I use Worm's Breath Churner. This is great for the explosive weapon damage increases for both primary and secondary damage. Plus, the Shell Shock trigger, making enemies have longer reload times, is great for both PvE bosses and PvP. The next 2 furniture pieces are port and starboard powder kegs, and this is because we are focusing on broadside attacks due to the schooner's perks, and these pieces boost both broadside damages by 10% each. Next is Compagnie screens, for increased health and the reduction in incoming area of effect damage from enemy ships by 20%. This helps keep us alive longer to get more broadside Dardanelle volleys fired off. But if you prefer, you can change this to Bombard Works for even more secondary damage multipliers to our Bombard Dardanelles. Then we have Bombard Menacerie, for the 10% increased bombard damage, and sometimes the 8% increase to structures is helpful too. Lastly is the Breachlock Furnace. This drastically increases secondary damage the closer you get to your enemy. Just try and stay 100 meters away from them, otherwise you start to negate this buff. And the increased charge rate and damage of the Shell Shocked status is really helpful with this. For the hull armor, my preference is the Buccaneer's Oath. And this works great because for every kill we get that 25% boost for our weapon damage and armor. And we will always be getting kills with this build, so the hull armor's ability is nearly always active. When using this build in Death Tide's PvP mode, I highly recommend you use the Hunter Ultimate ability. This ability juices our damage up on steroids and is great fun. Just to be clear though, don't use drugs kids, just use this build. So if you're a Death Tides lover or you like the open ocean in PvE, this build is for you. The build is simple to use, with the being able to moving targets at long distances with the Dardanelles. But after a little bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it. That's the main stuff you need to know for the build. I hope you enjoy using it. I have a Mega Fort Buster build coming very soon that allows you to easily survive and farm the fort quickly for that much needed deep iron. So keep an eye out for my next video and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave you with some raw PvP footage with the new Schooner build, and I'll also show you against Li Tiang in PvE and how powerful it can be.
go towards victory!
Get moving, rascal! Get the roses!
Death follows in your wake.